Everybody, Jerome Wright here again. And I have an image up of the young Jesus. I guess they're getting a baptism by John the Baptist. Okay, the image is untitled, and I don't know the actual date, but actually looking at it, we can actually see that it's actually a very older and earlier on image. Okay, based on the style of it. Okay, I think that you'd be able to, if you want to Google the image, you can go Sarto. Sarto or Sarto. I think it's Sarto, and then life, Sarto life, and then in that web search, you would actually run into this image. Okay. Um, I'm going to give you some encryptions from this image of which that I can actually see. Okay, and what's actually happening here in this image. Okay. Um, Let me see where we're at here. It's my position that these ancient images and historical moments which portray historical biblical figures like John the Baptist and Jesus and Noah and many others, that there's a reference being made of genetic bridging, and that's why these images look so unusual. Excuse me, look so unusual, and that there's a sense of like, what in the heck is this? What is being said by this? What is symbolically being said by this? And over the years, we have accepted this. You know what I mean? The nakedness, the nudeness, and little children being nude, with insinuations. Here you have a man coming around, if you want to call it that, like a mutated man, with his mouth on the boy's shoulder as if sucking his shoulder, which has an implication which I'll get to later on. We accepted this, you know what I mean, and under the guise of Christianity and divinity. Okay, and it's just bizarre. It really is. And now here I am showing you everything about this, which is wrong. Well, these encryption styles, what's going on, and not only that, giving you your identity of who you truly are genetically. Okay, and this is a genetic bridging process that goes on today, and it involves mainly at the center of it all is the Vatican. Okay, um, it's very disturbing, but then and again, it should not be shocking because it it kind of highlights and shows us why this confusion is so global about our identities, who we are, why we're separated, why we're divided, and it really just explains and fills in a lot of the gaps that were otherwise um, missing and incomplete. Everything is like pretty much answered through what I have discovered here. All right, I'm gonna go with making a few highlights. First of all, let's go behind John the Baptist. I'm gonna bring you. There's a penis there, right there, behind John the Baptist. All right, right there, encrypted. And then there's a rock, which signifies that of a seed. Then you have a person here with their head covered over. Okay, and it shows that this person was showered with the genetics of John the Baptist, which I know this already because the person's head is covered over with the white towel. Okay, so this tells me, and I've seen it before in Renaissance artist paintings. That's how come I know this, and besides knowing it through my paranormal experience. Now, let's take what John the Baptist is on. Okay, what his foot, his leg is on here and there. These rocks are so-called rocks and stones. They take on the shapes of our genetic prehistoric ancestors, which show you which creatures that we evolved from. Okay, and then it shows you in his body position and posturing at which levels there was bridging and cross-referencing. Now, again, notice how his foot cleverly cloaks that of the reptilian snake. And there's the eye there. Notice how his foot takes on the shape, not of a foot, but of a snake. And it shows you, and if you look closely at what he's standing on, you will see the snout of that, of the dragon-like dinosaur creature there. Okay, and there's more there, but I'm not going to get into divulging everything here, because then we'll have people trying to figure things out. I'm looking at things as I'm going on, because you actually get. But in this image, they're cloaked. There's the mother of creation, and then you ultimately see the image of an ape. Okay, and what happens in this, people, is that these creatures are shown in their mutated state, morphing up through John the Baptist's body and actually coming up. Now I'm going to draw you a couple so you can actually see. Here's another creature here, which I know what it is. There's an eye. There's an eye. I'm just going to draw it lightly. Okay, we're coming around the nostril areas there. There's the cheekbone right there. And these are how these Renaissance, I'm coming around the mouth now, use the anatomy of these figures to cleverly disguise the prehistoric creatures that contributed to our creation. See that creature I just put there? I just highlighted it some right there. And this is the reason why you see these implications and why these images look so unique and so bizarre. Now, then there's the sign of the cross, which you heard for the first time from me, that the cross represents the cross-referencing of mankind's genetics. There's the cross, which perfectly fits in the whole idea, factual idea of what I've actually discovered. Not even Christians can tell you what the cross means. And here I come along and tell you that the cross represents the cross-referencing of mankind's genetics, and just picked up the symbolic meaning through Christianity of being that of something holy. Okay, but it's actually the cross-referencing of our genetics. Now, I mean, if you look at this image, I'm gonna bring you. I always like to bring you the ape, and it shows you how, because it references our black ancestors in Africa and all of that, so forth and so forth. You always see, people, in these Christian images, the encrypted images of these apes. There's the nostril there, and it shows you how our ancestors were genetically bridged. See that image of an ape? And there's more there. Can you see that over there? Yeah, there you go there. The monkey individual right there. It shows you the passage of these genetics, and it shows you one group over here, another group over here, and it shows you how there's one in the middle, and these individuals in the middle are genetic bridges and sacrifices. They sacrifice their body genetically to bridge and manipulate these genetics of mankind. Now, I'm going to show you something else here. Where we at? Alright, we're there, we did the cross. Okay, as I said, these genetics work their way up. It's shown working their way up through John the Baptist's body, and there's other images in there. I'm not going to go into detail. I'd like to show you things that actually are Right. Now you notice that their skin, their clothing, is cloaked with the genetics. It shows you genetically. Like right here, I know that this is half of the ape's mouth right there. But more importantly is, there's the witch-like woman, the mother of creation, shown morphing through the cloak, and it shows you that the shedding of the skin. This is the shedding of the skin of one genetic, and it shows you how it eventually evolved into John the Baptist. And then her mouth is right there, facing up. Now check this out, people. Now there she is there, in one state, right there in the clothing. Now check this out, how it shows she's shown morphing through the face of John the Baptist. Then you can take, now I'm going to come across his nose, which creates her chin right here. This is her chin. Okay, now his eye is actually is dubs as her mouth right there. And then here's would be her would-be nose right there, and her eye, and then her head, and it creates the face of a woman. It shows how she's morphing from here through his body up. Now look, now I drew one face. Here's two. Now check this out. Here's another right here. A likeness. I'm coming around the mouth. That's the fourth face there. Now check this out, people. I'm going to give you number 5. Okay. And right here, looking up into the cross, it shows you how this female's genetics, who I dub as the mother of creation, worked her way up from the founding stones, which I've discovered evolved from space. And you can see my other videos on that to see how I arrived at that. The founding stones, you probably can't even see that. Let me back off where I drew that. Alright, how the founding stone, these genetics, evolved from that of space and actually came up. You ever hear the Bible stories about how they said that man was created from dirt and mud and all of that? Well, people, it seems like that is pretty much what they're talking about. They just left out the fact that there are microorganisms in those dirts that was carried in from space, and I've discovered the locations. Alright, but that's a whole nother story. If you want to hear more about that, see my other videos. Okay, I'm paranormally connected to it all, and I can pretty much unveil practically anything that is referencing the creation of mankind and creation of many other things, to be totally honest with you. Alright, I'm gonna come over here to the little boy, okay, because this is very compelling. Alright. First of all, let me show you. I'm gonna do another thing here first. First of all, this represents again another penis right here. Okay, and it shows you that these genetics are bridged. There's another creature there and there, but I'm going to show you how it's showing you that these creatures, this is genetically bridged, where these bridgings are going. And this is at Jesus kneeling down. This represents another penis. Now, there would be the would-be head. It shows the defining features of the penis right there, people. Okay, you can see it. So what's coming out of the penis? It shows you the genetics that were bridged and which were altered, and it shows you a watered down version of our black ancestors' genetics, which evolved from ape. I'm coming over the snout of the ape. There's the ape's eye would be there, and it shows you, people, that this guy, which is the ape right there, genetics were genetically bridged and broken down, and it shows you how this in their weakened state, and it goes into this guy. It shows you a cyclination of these genetics and then going back. Now, what is this guy doing here naked at the little boy, facing the little boy? First of all, the little boy, the naked little boy with his hand down at his own crotch, is a part of all of this in this genetic bridging, showing him on the founding stone. He's used as a genetic bridger as well. Shows you how these genetics are broken down. Alright, now I'm going to take this. Oh, that monkey is laid up, by the way. Let me turn that monkey up so you can see that monkey's face. To make that monkey. Oh, yes, I just say where the hell this is. Can you see how? I'm going to show you how. Let me show you. Let me go back to that monkey. See how it's shown the black penis there coming from Jesus, and shows you the monkey face, how the monkey's genetics is shown by the lighting color, the two-tone likeness of the monkey. It went from the blackness of the monkey and how it was broken down to now becoming two-tone. It's the weakness, it's the weakening of the ancient genetics, which actually evolved from that of the original ape and black man. That's what this is all about. Okay. Now I'm gonna come back around here again, people, and I can do this with one painting of Jesus after the next. You know what I mean? It doesn't make a difference who made these paintings. Okay, they all signify the same thing, especially the boom and Renaissance artwork. Now let's go to the little boy here. Now there's so many images in him that it's crazy. But I'm gonna show you this one if I can. But there's so many because they're going up. They're going in all directions. So let me go to the little boy here. First of all, let me give you the ape. Well, first of all, it's showing the directions of going in. Let me show you why this little boy looks so odd in the face. See that little boy there? Look how odd he looks. I'm gonna give you first. Well, let me do this face first. There's the witch-like woman in multiple states. Here's her first likeness here. Her pointed nose and her mouth, and she's shown here with both the genetics of the ape and her own right there. Can you see that? There's one face facing off that way that I just did off to the side. Now facing into the little boy, look at this, is her likeness right here. I wish I had a red pen. Look, right there. And this is why his face looks so crazy. I'm coming around her nose right now. Here's her mouth. And dropping out of her chin is, you see the genetics snaking over, which creates a cross. And I'm going to show you what that means in a minute. And it shows these, see her likeness in his face right there? I just drew. Now mind you that her face is also on the back side. So now that I'm going to capture that. Now it's going to look crazy. I don't like drawing all of these images because it begins to look crazy. It's showing you the flow of these genetics. So she has two faces in the boy's face. One facing in, coming in, and one going out. So wherever she is, there is the monkey or the ape. So this is where it's going to get crazy, people, so you have to follow me here. So the ape is here, coming off his forehead. There's one eye, there's the other eye, and this is all in the little boy's head there. And the ape has his mouth open. Okay, you see the ape there? I'm trying to, let me bring this in closer so you can, yeah, you can see. I don't think you can see that ape too good. Alright, here's the I'm going over the forehead of the ape there. There's the other forehead up there, the cranial. And then here's around the ape's nose. There's the nostrils of the ape in there. Okay, you give it that monkey imprint. And then look, the ape has its mouth open. And this is all in the little boy's face now. And then it has another genetic strand snaking out of that ape's mouth, the mother of creation. Look at those two. You see that? Those two genetic strands coming out through the boy. And where are they going? It's showing them, here's his shoulder. It shows the genetics and their faces going down. And he's telling you by holding his penis that he's been genetically bridged, and now coming out of him genetically are the genetics of these manipulated genes. So his face tells you the story. Now check this out. Now I'm going to give you another face. Now there's something else there, but I'm going to show you something here. Now watch this. So where are these genetics coming from? Here, they're verified here. This Medusa-like woman, who I dub as the mother of creation, the little boy there. And I'm going to give you another picture because this is very compelling, people. Right here. Oh, I see something there. right here, look at her right here, how she looks all too real. Now, where we at? Okay, there's a face there too. Actually, I'm going to show you something, but look at this. The Medusa-like woman. Here's her eye, right there. Okay, here's her nose. Here's her mouth. Coming around her chin. And it shows you the snake coming off of her head and showing you these genetics going out and where they're going. And now this boy is genetically bridged. Can you see that face there? It's clear as day. Now, and then people, if you don't want to believe that, there's a string of her likenesses throughout the boy's abdomen area. Now, I'm going to bring up another image and show you something else about this little boy's body. Or can I draw it? I might be better off drawing it down because it's going to be kind of crazy trying to get in this image. Now, this is showing the mouth wide open, nose. Let me see if I can get that nose up in there. So, there's another face here. Right there, I just drawn it on another image, okay? Because I was trying to been drawing that upside down and been taking it forever. See that face there in the boys? Well, hold on, you can't see nothing because I'm in too close. There's a face right there in the boy's abdomen, right there. The mouth is open, and it shows the boy's leg hanging out of the mouth and his abdomen. You know what that represents? That represents the boy's penis being out, and the genetics that are actually all here, and they're shown bridge between these two. Meaning, oh, hold on, can you see? And this is why you have an adult naked male figure facing a juvenile naked figure. It shows you these genetics being bridged between children and adults. Okay? Now, there's the figure, lips open. It shows you these genetics snaking out and being extended to this individual. And this individual being naked and facing the little boy is saying the same exact thing. There's a genetic bridging between them as well, too. Now, what else is there? I'm going to leave, I guess I'm going to leave you with that. Okay? And then it shows you people that, alright, let me give you an explanation of what's going on with these people here in the backdrop. It shows you that these genetics that's being altered and manipulated here are then sent out to contaminate other areas, and that's what this is signifying with these individuals back here. So what is being done here is being sent out. Remember I told you in one of my videos that Jesus with the different soldiers shown at his at Jesus's sarcophagus that was in the cave, and showed Jesus coming out rising. And I said that there's 6 differently clad, in some cases 7 differently clad soldiers represent the 7 empires or the 6 empires, and in some cases you have nuns out with their cups out at Jesus' sarcophagus, marrying them. And Mary Magdalene, it shows that the blood of Jesus and the semen, which is his genetics, were genetically preserved, and actually they were utilized to contaminate other areas. And his awakening and his coming back is coming back genetically, which they knew in so many thousands of years would genetically come back in the bodies of all of those that have been contaminated. That's why they're talking, are you ready for Jesus? Be ready for Jesus. This and that. It's not him coming through spiritually through the sky. It's about him genetically being reawoken in your body, because these clowns genetically altered ourselves and contaminations with these people's genetics through their cult-like ritual, which actually caused for the altering of mankind's genetics. Now, it's crazy, people. It really is. It's almost like somebody developing AIDS 1,000 years ago, and they knew through meticulous, through it being done before, through cult-like ritual practices like the Mayans and the Sumerians and all, just like these kings talking about coming back in Egyptian times, and even George Washington was talking about coming back, because they knew that through these genetic contaminations that they created, that even the Angkor Wat king was talking about coming back through his genetic manipulations with turtles and stuff. But anyway, they knew that genetically there's a reawakening of these genetics where they're actually almost like in body snatchers come back and claim the bodies of that they're in, almost like a 1,000-year-old egg that is festering in a body, and then ultimately it claims the body that it is actually in. And that's what this is all about. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with that, people. I think I gave you a bit full here, and I just want to make sure that I haven't missed anything, but it's my position. I've got 4 more minutes, so I guess I can go on a little bit more here. It is my position that there were babies created, there was genetic manipulation, and those that are involved, there's a trail of those that are involved. And basically, all you have to do, it's my position that genetic manipulation on such a mass scale as they have done, there have to be records, because through all of the work that they did in this, people cannot go and undo this mistakenly. So what they do is they create these genetic records for people to follow, to know. This is what we did, and this is how this was done. This is what you should follow. This is gospel. This is the record. This is the golden rule. We need for this to be this way. This is our work. People sacrifice their lives for this. Jesus sacrificed himself on the cross. John the Baptist sacrificed himself. Mary Magdalene sacrificed herself. Madame, these people sacrifice themselves. This is why they are commemorated in these historical biblical moments. Hey, don't mess this up, people. This is what we need to keep this going. You know what I mean? This is what this is. You know what I mean? This is what we need to do. You know what I mean? So, and we need to continue it going. And this is the record that is actually kept on mass scales. This mess about secret societies and this and that. The secret behind all of this is the genetic bridging and the genetic altering of ancient genetics. Although Hitler had knowledge of this, the Vatican, I'm claiming the Freemasons, I'm claiming that all of these people have knowledge of this. And I can claim it through and show it through these records, because these records are everywhere, through to today. I found the same similar stuff in Disney products that are in your children's bedrooms right now as we speak, in their clothing lines. These same images, these same symbolizations are in clothing lines, and entertainment parks, in churches. You know what I mean? In all sorts of records. In everything, in home designs, meaning that things for your home. It's people. The list goes on and on and on. And I would not be saying these things if I could not prove it. You know what I mean? Because I'll be in a world of trouble if I could not prove it. You know what I mean? Because one day I'm going to go viral, and I'm going to have to come to answer to all of this. But the beauty in all of this is what I'm showing you is that you can Google these images, and you can actually see for yourself now that I'm showing you what's going on. You know what I mean? I can do this, people, with everything and anything. And this is what's going on. We're being genetically bridged and genetically altered. And this is why we do not know who we are, why we behave the way we do, and why we are so damn confused and saying, what is going on? And these people are mind screwing us to say, hey, this is what you need to fear. This is what you need to believe. And this is the only thing that actually gives you a sense of some kind of calmness and trying to understand it, because you have this thing of, well, Jesus is going to return for me one day. I'm going to die one day, and I'm going to go to heaven instead of hell. And this is where your serenity is at. And then I come along and show you this. Now what? People, everything you are is within you. The answers are within you. I see a face right there. Look how you have, I can't even draw it but there's a face coming here, half size right there, looking off the little boy's leg, coming down off of here. People, my name is Jerome Wright. You're watching my Jeronification channel, and you can also get me on alien UFOs. Okay, people, something is going to come to an end. It's going to come to an end real soon. All right, thank you.